Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm attempting to defeat the Magnus bot in bullet chess. We'll play a 2+1 time control, meaning each side has 2 minutes and gets 1 extra second after every move. Obviously I have to play quickly, but the bots play at a consistent pace, meaning I just need to hold out until the Magnus bot runs out of time. With an extra second for every move that the bot makes, that's easier said than done. Plus the fact that I'm also playing very quickly against a 2800 rated bot. So things could go sour in a moment's notice. We'll be playing a best of 3. Let's get started with round number 1. I will give myself the advantage of playing with white for the first round, which means I'll play black for the second, and then white again for the third round. Play bishop to f4. I know some of you guys are tired of seeing the London system, but it's just so darn solid against these bots that I can't let it go. We'll play c3. Anytime I see this move, I like to stop knight to b4. And he's munching away at time as expected. We'll offer this bishop trade. If we get into kind of an even endgame, things could be looking up for me. But until then, I'll just continue with regular development, castles, ignore the kibitzing, and try to stay focused. We'll play knight to d2. We've completed our piece development. Now we just need a castle. If this were a human game, I would play knight to e5, knight f3, h3, g4, and play like a crazy person. But there's a 2800 bot across the board for me. So we're castling today. And we'll see how Magnus elects to approach this position. We get h6. I'll bring my rook towards the center. e4 is a pretty thematic push here. We get a5. I'll continue with e4. Okay, we get takes, and I will recapture. We're getting some trades, which is totally fine with me. Okay, knight to d5 ignores the trade, targets the bishop. I could push the bishop back to d2, so it's still looking at the king side. But I think it makes more sense to push it to g3, because this e5 push is a very big idea in this kind of opening. Wow, f5. Is that this bishop gone? Wow, that's brutal. Okay, how do I get out of this situation? Knight c5, I guess. Hitting the e6 pawn, so if f4 I take. And if takes, I recapture f4. And then I have bishop h4, g5, queen g6. Okay, I'm using up more time than the bot now, so I'm just going to send it. Knight to c5. Okay, he's talking about self-confidence. I need to stop reading the chat. It's very distracting. All right, in the case of f4, we have that idea. Okay, queen to e6, right? Now f4 still works as bishop h4, queen g5, or rather pawn g5, queen g6, queen g7. There's no more repetition, but now I can play bishop to e5. And get my bishop out of trouble. I have less time than the bot. Okay, I really need to focus up. Bishop d4. We'll just offer trades, target this pawn. Okay, he doesn't accept, rook towards the middle. Close enough. I know for a fact the bot will take 3-ish seconds per move, so I just need to play faster than the bot. Queen to e3, close enough. Bishop c5 is a threat. This is also a threat, the discovered attack. Okay, queen to d6, or rather rook to d8. We'll play knight to e5. Takes. Oh no, there's a queen sack. Okay, so if takes, I have to take back with the queen. We'll just drop the queen back. That doesn't look like a real issue. This seems pretty even to me so far. Knight to f4, queen to e3. Take a draw for the first game. Okay, we do get the exchange. I'll take back with the queen because of that sacrifice that we talked about. I'll take again with the queen. Trade off into an endgame. He's got 50 seconds left. Bishop to e3. No, my computer's lagging out. Please, focus up. Focus up. We'll just play the bishop back. If e5, drop the bishop back. Totally fine. I just need to have more time on the clock than the bot does. And this looks pretty even. I mean, rook and pawn endgames are generally pretty drawish. So this should be fine. I am probably worse in this position because I'm playing so much more passive than the bot is. But it's down to 35 seconds, and I'm not, right? So I'm feeling pretty good about this. Play f3, king to f2, bring the king towards the center, I guess. E3 isn't really a concern because my bishop covers that square. Maybe I can double the rooks in a moment, target this pawn. E4 is kind of a concern, I guess, because the knight could swing in after the capture. But it's up to the bot to actually find these moves. And until then, I'm just going to hold on for dear life. He's got 15 seconds left. I think I can definitely hold this out. I just need to not completely give it away. Because I can tell that this is losing now, but there's no way he's going to promote these pawns in time for me to actually lose. We'll just make some time with the king. E3, rook E1. There's only 3 seconds left, and I think we've walked away with this one. Yeah, rook e1, anything flies. Nice. All right, we did win game 1 by a teeny tiny margin. Let's move on to round number 2. All right, we're back with round number 2. I'm unfortunately playing as black for this one, and it looks like we're getting a King's Indian. I would love it if Magnus played the London against me. Okay, we get a Queen's Gambit. Speaking of which, I actually just started watching that series. Don't leave any spoilers in the comments, but I just started that series finally. I got around to it. So we're facing the Queen's Gambit. We're playing a King's Indian. This shouldn't be particularly dynamic. Knight c3 could lead into like some e4, which is just a transposition, which is fine. Shouldn't be that terrible. We'll castle, c5, d5, e6. And that should be pretty straightforward. If we could close up the center, it might even make my life a little bit easier, but no. It's really interesting. Both of these games, or rather I misspoke. I've played a different game with Magnus where he's elected to open up this D file in this variation of the Sicilian, which is really interesting. Okay, he's already down to 1:20. I haven't lost any pieces yet, so I think we're doing pretty well. This pawn is being targeted. I guess b6 would defend it, but somehow that feels like it's not what I'm supposed to play. Maybe knight d7 is a little bit more sound. Knight d7 cuts off the queen trade, defends c5, and then I haven't weakened my light squares on the queen side. We get rook to b1. I'll play a5 to cover up that b4 square, which I'm not really interested in allowing. I'm not really interested in allowing that push. Queen to d3. We will play... I'm play queen to c7, knight to b5. Let's play e6, covering that d5 square, and then maybe I can get my queen out through e7. My pieces are feeling very cramped. He's down to a minute, so he's halfway through on time. But it's not clear what my idea is here. Maybe knight e5, get some trades going. Bishop g5, queen to e8. f6 I don't like because it weakens e6. Bishop to f6 is possible. Let's play that. Try to get some trades on the board. Okay, bishop takes. Take back with my queen. I have weakened these squares, but it's unclear how he's actually supposed to take advantage of that. Queen to e3, I guess, leans into this, so I'll play queen to g7. I guess my queen has just replaced my bishop. Rook to d6. I could offer this trade, but then I drop the pawn. But then again, I have no piece mobility, so I have to kind of pick and choose my battles. So I'll try to get some piece mobility in exchange for dropping this pawn on c5, which obviously is graciously accepted. We'll take on f3, centralize this knight, and I'm running low on actual ideas. Maybe rook to a6, get a rook trade on the board. That could be half decent, I guess. Okay, we do get that rook trade, which alleviates a little bit of that pressure for me. He's down to 28 seconds. If I can just hold out, that's it. I win best of 3. I win 2 out of 3. We'll play bishop. Oh no, bishop d7, pawn to f4 removes the guard. Wow, the problem is I don't have like this overarching idea of what I'm actually supposed to be pursuing in this position. I'll play knight back to d7. Maybe I can reroute the knight to f6 and get something out of that. Because on e5 it's just waiting to get booted. Okay, so I'll play knight to f6. I'm very much cocooning in this position, but it might be enough to walk away with the flag at least. I can't even develop this bishop. This bishop is so badly placed. All right, let's sacrifice another pawn just to play bishop to e6. Okay, he ignores it. We'll develop the bishop. This passed pawn is going to be an issue, but I don't think it's going to be an issue in 16 seconds. We'll play knight to d7, offer the queen trade, which it should accept because this passed pawn should be completely winning. It's just no way it's going to be winning in 7 seconds. All right, c6, we'll play knight to e5. c7, I'll play rook to c8. Knight d5, I guess, defends. I'll trade. I'm not even sure how he's going to hold on to that pawn anyways. Oh, takes with tempo. Okay, should I play knight to f3 check, cheeky? And then pre-move? All right, that wasn't very nice, but we did take away the win. I probably have to try this at a slower time control at some point. Because I did some test runs before this, and I was actually losing some of the 1-minute games. But I guess I started to understand at what pace I needed to play. So even now playing 2+1, I guess I've adapted a little bit to this playstyle. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video idea in the comments down below, and let me know what time control I should play next. I will see you guys in the next one.